Take any prime number bigger than 5. Look at its last digit. It will be a 1, a 3, a 7, or a 9. Always. It has to be. A number ending in 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8 is even, so 2 divides it, and it cannot be prime. A number ending in 5 is divisible by 5, in one stroke that kills 6 of the 10 possible endings and leaves exactly 4 lanes open: 1, 3, 7, and 9. 11 ends in 1, 13 ends in 3, 17 ends in 7, 19 ends in 9, 23 goes back to 3, 29, a 9, 31, a 1. Every prime past 5, no matter how enormous, files itself into one of those same 4 lanes. So picture walking up the primes in order and reading off only the final digit of each. You get a stream of digits. It looks like static. For nearly 2 centuries, that is exactly what it was taken to be. That the ending of one prime tells you nothing whatsoever about the ending of the next. The way one coin flip says nothing about the next. The digits were treated as pure noise riding on top of the primes. That picture is wrong. Not in some rare corner. Wrong about the most basic question you can ask of the stream. And the crack in it stayed hidden until 2016, when somebody finally lined the digits up and counted them. Start with what is solid. In 1837, Dirichlet proved that the 4 endings are balanced. Not approximately, exactly, in the long run. 1/4 of all primes end in 1, 1/4 in 3, 1/4 in 7, 1/4 in 9. None of the 4 lanes is favored over any other, and the primes follow him with almost insulting obedience. Count every prime up to 100 million. There are 5,761,000 of them, and sort them by last digit. Each lane holds 25.0%, not 25.1, not 24.9. The split is so even you could set a clock by it. So the last digit of a prime really does behave like a fair 4-sided die. Each face, 1 in 4, on and on. And the crucial property of a fair die is that it has no memory. The next throw does not know or care what the last throw was. Every roll starts clean. Carry that assumption to its conclusion, and you get a sharp prediction. Take all the primes ending in 1, and look at the very next prime after each. If the digits are memoryless, that next ending is just a fresh roll. A 1/4 of the time, a 3/4, a 7/4, a 9/4. 25%, 4 ways, no matter which digit you started from. It is the most natural guess in the world, and it is false. In 2016, 2 mathematicians at Stanford, Lemke Oliver and Soundararajan, did the obvious thing that somehow almost no one had done. They counted the pairs, they walked the primes in order, and each time they stepped past one ending in a given digit, they recorded the ending of the prime that came next. Not a sample. Millions upon millions of consecutive pairs, all the way up. Begin with the primes ending in 1. The memoryless guess says the next prime ends in 1/4 of the time. So they measured how often it actually did. About 17.5%. Not 25. 17. That is not a wobble in the 3rd decimal. A full 7 percentage points of the primes that should have repeated the digit 1 went somewhere else instead. And you can see where they went. After a prime ending in 1, the next prime ends in 3 about 30% of the time, in 7 about 31%, and in 9 about 21. The 3 other endings are all lifted above their fair share. The one ending that is starved, pushed far below 1/4, is 1 again, the digit it just had. The primes avoid repeating their last digit. The die that looked perfectly fair turns out, the instant you watch 2 rolls in a row, to be quietly loaded. They called it a bias. Everyone else can call it what it plainly looks like. A conspiracy among the primes. The first worry is that the digit 1 is somehow special. It is not. Repeat the count starting from each of the other 3 endings, and the same thing happens every time. A prime ending in 3 is followed by another 3 only about 16.5% of the time. 7s, the same. 9s, the same. Whatever digit you stand on, returning to it is the rare move. Lay the whole thing out as a square of 16 numbers. Each row is a starting digit. Each column is the digit that comes next. A row gathers every prime that starts on that digit and shows where the next one goes, so each row adds up to 100%. Now the structure is impossible to miss. Look at the diagonal, the 4 cells where the digit repeats, 1 to 1, 3 to 3, 7 to 7, 9 to 9. In every single row, that diagonal cell is the smallest entry. All 4 sit near 17%, while the cells off the diagonal climb toward 30 and past it. A dark stripe runs corner to corner through the table. It is the most orderly thing in the entire picture, and it states the finding in one line. Whatever a prime's last digit is, the next prime would rather be anything else. And the table has more to say. The strongest pull of all is not even on the diagonal. It is a prime ending in 9 handing off to a prime ending in 1, which happens a full third of the time. The primes do not only avoid repeats, they have favorite directions to travel. A pattern this sharp has to come from somewhere, and the source is almost laughably simple. It has nothing to do with the digits being mystical. It is about distance. A prime's last digit is not picked in isolation. It is decided by the gap to the next prime. Stand on a prime ending in 1. Add the gap, and the digit you land on is forced by that sum. So the real question is about jumps. To come back to a prime ending in 1, how far must you travel? At least 10. To return to the very same last digit, the gap has to be a multiple of 10. 10, 20, 30. There is no shortcut home. You cannot reach your own digit again in fewer than 10 steps. But every other ending is sitting much closer. From a 1, a jump of just 2 lands you on a 3. A jump of 6 lands you on a 7. A jump of 8 lands you on a 9. 2, 6, and 8. Every one of them shorter than the 10 it takes to repeat. And here is the lever that moves everything. Among the primes, small gaps are common and large gaps are rare. Out near 100 million, the average gap is only about 17, and gaps of 2, 4, and 6 turn up constantly. So when a short hop to a fresh digit is right there, the prime almost always takes it, long before it would ever stretch a full 10 to land back on itself. Repeating your own digit is simply the expensive option, and the primes are cheap. That single idea, same digit needs a jump of 10, other digits are closer, does more than darken the diagonal. It predicts the exact order of the whole table. Sort the gaps by where they deliver you. From a prime ending in 1, a gap of 2, or 12, or 22, all land on a 3. A gap of 6 or 16 lands on a 7. A gap of 8 or 18 lands on a 9. A gap of 10 or 20 lands back on a 1. Each destination is fed by its own family of gaps, spaced 10 apart. So whichever families are most crowded will collect the most primes. Count them in the real data. The most common gap between consecutive primes is not 2, and it is not 4. It is 6 by a clear margin. And that is exactly why ending in 7, the digit A gap of 6 feeds, is the single most favored landing of all, edging out 3. Meanwhile, a gap of 8 is the rarest of the small jumps, so ending in 9, which it feeds, lags behind the other 2. The full ranking, 7 first, then 3, then 9, then a distant one, is nothing more than the ranking of the gaps, read off in a different language. Make all of this exact, and you arrive at the Hardy-Littlewood conjecture, the century-old prediction for how densely each prime pattern should occur. Feed it in, and its formulas reproduce the measured percentages almost to the decimal. The conspiracy was never a flaw in the primes. It is the architecture of the gaps, wearing a disguise. Now the twist, and it is the part that keeps mathematicians honest. Dirichlet was not overthrown. Walk far enough out and the 4 endings really do level off. The repeating digit really does drift back up toward its fair 25%. The conspiracy is a property of the neighborhood we live in, not a law carved into the primes forever. But the phrase far enough out is hiding something enormous. Watch how grudgingly the bias heals. Among primes near 1000, a digit repeats only about 12% of the time. The suppression is huge, less than half of fair. Move out to 10,000 and it has risen to about 14, out at a million 15.5, out at 100 million 17. It is climbing toward 25, and you can watch it climb. But look at the cost of each step. To gain those few points, you had to march from 1,000 all the way to 100 million, 5 orders of magnitude, the whole span from your doorstep to the far side of any arithmetic we will ever survey. And after all of it, the distance to fair is still 7 full points wide. The bias erodes the way a coastline erodes. It is genuinely shrinking, the limit is genuinely 25, and yet across every prime any machine has ever enumerated, the diagonal still comes up short. The convergence is real, and the convergence is glacial. For anything you could ever check, the conspiracy is permanent. Step back, because a word just changed meaning underneath us. Random. The primes are the textbook case of randomness inside arithmetic, irregular, unpredictable, the integer's best imitation of a coin toss, and in one exact sense they have earned it. Their last digits fall into 4 lanes of identical size, balanced to the 3rd decimal place. If you only ever look at one prime at a time, they pass every test for fairness you could throw at them. And yet the instant you look at 2 in a row, those same flawlessly balanced digits flinch away from repeating, every time in a way no honest coin ever would. Both things are true at once. The primes are evenly spread in the large and correlated in the small, balanced across the whole number line, and biased between each prime and the next. The randomness has a short memory. Each prime leans, just slightly, away from the digit it just saw. That is a strange and beautiful thing for the most studied objects in mathematics to have been doing in silence, and there is a final humility in it. The clean explanation, the gap structure written out in full, rests on the hardy Littlewood conjecture, which has stood unproven for 100 years. So the last digit conspiracy has been measured to ferocious precision, confirmed across millions of primes, and strictly speaking, never proved. We can see it perfectly. We still cannot fully explain why with certainty. So here is the whole shape of it. 4 lanes, 1, 3, 7, 9, each carrying exactly 1/4 of the primes. A fair 4-sided die that Dirichlet nailed down almost 200 years ago. Nothing about that balance is an illusion. It is as true as anything in number theory. And woven straight through that fairness, a second rule that nobody thought to check. Stop asking what a prime's last digit is, and start asking what comes after it. And the fair die tilts. The same digit, twice in a row, is the one move the primes are quietly trying not to make. It was there in the first 100 primes. It was there in the first million. It sat in the open, inside the most examined numbers in all of mathematics. And it waited until 2016, when 2 people finally lined up the pairs, ran the count, and watched the diagonal come up short. That is the habit the primes never break. The pattern is already there. It has always been there, sitting in numbers we thought we had read to death. It was only waiting for someone to look at the right thing, not at the primes themselves, which we had stared at for centuries, but at the quiet space between each one and the next.